Hi everyone, we're Mimicker, here to introduce all kinds of knowledge, even the stuff we didn't know about. Okay, so today we're going to get into something really unique in American sports. We're talking baseball, yeah, but
Yeah.
probably not like any baseball you've seen before. Imagine a team where players might wear kilts one night, the owner's always in this super bright yellow tuxedo, and the games. Well, they feel less about the final score and more about just pure, nonstop entertainment. We are, of course, talking about the Savannah Bananas phenomenon.
Oh, it really is a phenomenon. And, the sources we looked at make it clear this isn't just some, quirky local team anymore. It's exploded nationally. They've created this performance-based baseball that's so popular, their ticket wait list is apparently over 3 million people long.
3 million. Wow.
Yeah. So our mission today is basically to unpack how they did it. How did the Bananas take a, frankly, struggling franchise and turn it upside down by tossing out the old rules, ditching the usual sports business model, and just focusing on, fun?
Okay, let's start right there. That initial comparison you hear all the time is that they're the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball. And that really does kind of set the stage, doesn't it?
It's a useful starting point, absolutely, because it immediately tells you this is a mix. It's competitive baseball, sure, but it's blended with choreographed routines, comedy, real showmanship.
So it helps define what they are.
Exactly. They're not selling traditional baseball. They're selling a whole theatrical experience. Baseball is just the sort of framework. Their whole mission seems to be taking a sport that, let's be honest, gets criticized for being slow and making it fast, super engaging, constantly entertaining. Every single thing they do seems geared towards that.
And the actual experience of being there, the whole look and feel, that seems absolutely key. People describe it almost like a variety show happening around a baseball diamond.
Yeah, like sensory overload, but in a good way. You've got music blasting all the time, not just between innings.
During plays, even.
Sometimes, yeah. And the umpires, they're not just calling balls and strikes, they're performers, they're dancing. The players themselves break into routines mid-game sometimes. It's constant energy.
And you mentioned the owner in the yellow tux, Jesse Cole.
Mm.
He's not just behind the scenes, is he?
Not at all. He's the ringmaster, out there every single night in that unmistakable yellow tuxedo. He's emceeing, interacting with the crowd, really driving the energy. His presence is, I think, vital. He is the brand, embodying that fans first, slightly absurd, fun-loving spirit.
And he had these other performers too, right? Like, it's not just the players and the owner.
Oh, yeah. The sources mentioned the Banana Nanas, which is, get this, a senior citizen dance troupe. They're apparently amazing.
Seriously, that's fantastic.
And then there's the Man Nanas, which is like a male cheerleading squad. It makes the whole stadium feel like a stage involving different parts of the community.
But the players themselves are doing some pretty wild stuff, too.
Oh, absolutely. That's where sport meets circus, almost. You hear about pitchers throwing on stilts.
On stilts, how does that even work?
Right. Or batters swinging flaming bats, fielders literally diving off trampolines to make catches. But the key thing here is these aren't just random stunts. These are skilled athletes. Many have played pro or high-level college ball. They're hired because they have the athletic ability and the showmanship, the willingness to learn the comedy and choreography.
Okay, but that brings us back to the Globetrotters comparison. If there's choreography and stunts, how is it still a real competitive game? Isn't it just scripted?
That's the absolute crucial difference and something they emphasize constantly. Unlike the Globetrotters, banana ball games are not scripted. The outcomes are 100% real and unpredictable. They are playing a genuine game, often with very talented players. The challenge and the magic is layering the entertainment and the comedy onto a real competition. If it were fake, I don't think you'd have a 3 million person wait list. That genuine tension of sport has to be there.
Okay, that makes sense. So this incredible product, where did it come from? It sounds so polished now, but the origin story is a bit rougher, isn't it? Section 2 talks about crisis.
Yeah, it's almost a cliche, but necessity really was the mother of invention here. It all starts back in Savannah, Georgia, around 2016. The city's minor league team, the Sand Gnats, had just left town the year before. So, Grayson Stadium, a historic ballpark, was empty.
A void waiting to be filled.
Exactly. And into that void stepped Jesse Cole and his wife, Emily. They decide to start a new team in the Coastal Plain League, which it's important to remember, is a summer league for college players using wood bats.
But they weren't exactly rolling in cash to start this venture.
Oh, far from it. The sources are pretty stark about this. They were deep in debt. Apparently, they had less than like $2,000 in their business account at one point.
Wow. So failure was a very real possibility.
Absolutely. They knew if they just launched another standard minor league style team, they'd probably just fade away quietly. They needed something huge, something absurd, just to get noticed.
Enter the name.
Precisely. The naming strategy was pure, calculated absurdity aimed at getting attention. They held a public contest, got a bunch of suggestions, and deliberately picked the most ridiculous, most buzzworthy one, the Savannah Bananas.
They leaned right into the silliness.
Completely, and it worked instantly. Within minutes of the announcement, it supposedly went viral, trending #1 on Twitter, ESPN talking about it.
Before they'd even played a game.
Exactly, and they started selling merchandise nationally. That ridiculous name basically gave them millions in free advertising and bought them the time and attention they desperately needed.
So, okay, the name gets them noticed.
Yeah.
And that first season in the CPL 2016, it's actually went pretty well by traditional standards, right?
It did. They sold out most games, broke league attendance records, even won the CPL championship. By all normal metrics, they were a success.
But Jesse Cole saw a problem even within that success. What was it?
He noticed people were leaving games early. Even with the fun atmosphere, the sellout crowds, fans weren't sticking around for the full 3+ hours of a typical baseball game. Ah, the pacing issue.
Exactly. He realized the enemy wasn't getting people in the door. It was the slow, drawn-out nature of traditional baseball itself. The downtime, the pitching changes, the batter stepping out, that's what was killing the energy.
So that led to the big question.
The absolute pivotal question. What are the boring parts of baseball, and how can we do the opposite? That's the seed of Banana Ball. It wasn't about adding more mascots. It was about fundamentally re-engineering the game itself to be faster, more engaging, nonstop action.
And this transition wasn't overnight. They didn't just ditch the CPL immediately.
No, it was definitely an evolution. They started experimenting with the Banana Ball rules, the really different stuff in trial games back in 2018. They were testing it, seeing what fans liked.
Gathering data.
Right. By 2020, they were confident enough to start doing public exhibition games focused just on Banana Ball. Then the big leap was in 2022 when they officially left the CPL to go fully independent, betting everything on this new format. And that bet, it paid off spectacularly. The scale now is just mind-boggling. You mentioned the tours playing in huge stadiums.
Yeah, the 2023 and 2024 tours saw them selling out Major League Baseball parks, NFL stadiums. We're talking crowds of 30,000, 40,000, even reports of up to 80,000 fans for a single game.
Which brings us back to that waitlist number.
That 3 million number. It's the ultimate validation. It shows this isn't just a novelty act, it's a highly sought-after entertainment experience that's captured national attention. People desperately want to see this thing.
Okay, so that perfectly sets up Section 3. If they're fixing the boring parts, they needed a whole new rulebook. Let's get into the Banana Ball rule revolution.
Yeah, you called it an operating system before, and that's perfect. The core rules, I think there are about 11 main ones, are all designed for speed, action, and getting rid of any lull in the excitement.
Top of the list has to be the time limit, right?
Right.
Traditional baseball's lack of a clock is a huge sticking point for many people.
Definitely. Banana Ball has a hard 2-hour time limit. Game over after 2 hours, no matter what inning it is.
That's a promise to the fans.
It's a huge promise. You know exactly what you're getting and how long it will last. No more guessing if the game will end at 9 p.m. or 11 p.m. It respects people's time and keeps the energy contained within that window.
And the scoring is different, too, to keep it interesting right up to that limit. Because a blowout in traditional baseball can feel over by the 7th inning.
Right. They use the every inning counts system. Winning an inning gets you 1 point. That's it. The first team to score 5 points wins the whole game.
So each inning is like its own minigame.
Exactly. It doesn't matter if you lost the last inning 10-0, the next inning starts 0-0, and it's worth 1 point. It keeps the stakes high for almost the entire 2 hours. If the time runs out before anyone hits 5 points, the team with the most points wins.
That's clever. It prevents those long, drawn-out games where the result feels inevitable. Okay, what about the rules aimed at just speeding up the moment-to-moment play? Those little delays that add up.
Yeah, they attack those directly. First, there's no stepping out. Once the batter's in the box and the pitcher starts, if the batter steps out, automatic strike.
Ooh, that cuts out all the adjusting gloves, taking practice swings.
All of it. It forces the batter to stay focused and ready. That alone probably shaves significant time off each game.
And no more long walks to the mound by the manager or catcher.
Nope. No mound visits allowed during live play. The pitcher and catcher have to figure it out quickly using signals. Again, it eliminates minutes of dead time where everyone's just standing around.
Now, some rules seem less about speed and more about just pure entertainment philosophy, like banning bunting. That's a pretty fundamental baseball strategy you're removing.
It is, and it's probably the most aggressive statement of their no boring stuff policy. Bunting is banned. Not only is it illegal if a player even attempts a bunt, they get ejected from the game.
Ejected, wow.
Yeah, they want action. They want swings, balls in play, running. Bunting is seen as too defensive, too passive for the banana ball style.
Okay, I can see the logic within their framework. Now, maybe the most famous rule, turning a walk the least exciting play into, well, chaos. Tell us about the ball four sprint.
Right, this one is genius. So pitcher throws ball four. Normally the batter just trots to first base, snooze, and banana ball. The batter takes off sprinting.
Okay.
But here's the kicker. The catcher throws the ball to a fielder, and before they can tag the sprinting runner out, the ball has to be touched by every single one of the 9 defensive players.
All 9 players. In the time it takes the batter to sprint around the bases.
Potentially, yeah. It forces the entire defense into this frantic, high-speed relay drill. If they don't touch all 9 players before the tag, the runner's safe anyway. It's pure, unadulterated mayhem from the most boring play in baseball.
That's incredible. It demands insane coordination from the defense.
Total chaos, total entertainment. And it keeps everyone involved.
Speaking of keeping everyone involved, there's the rule where the fans can actually impact the game.
The fan catch rule. This is maybe the purest expression of fans first. If a fan in the stands catches a foul ball cleanly, the batter is out. Just like that.
Seriously. So the fans in the foul territory are basically outfielders.
In a way, yes. It makes watching from those seats incredibly interactive and high stakes. You're not just hoping for a souvenir. You could literally make a game-changing play. It turns spectators into participants.
That's wild. And they tweaked base stealing, too.
Yeah, the steal first anytime rule. This means the batter can try to run to first base on any pitch that gets away from the catcher, a wild pitch or a passed ball, even if it wasn't ball 4.
So the catcher can't relax for a second.
Nobody can relax. It just adds another layer of potential action on any pitch, keeping the defense constantly on their toes.
And finally, if it's tied after 2 hours, how do they break the tie quickly? No long extra innings, right?
Right. They have the showdown tiebreaker. It's basically a one-on-one duel, one pitcher, one hitter. The hitter has to put the ball in play, usually within a few pitches. It's fast, dramatic, and guarantees the game's ends without violating that 2-hour promise. All these rules together make it faster, punchier, and just relentlessly entertaining.
Okay, so the on-field product is revolutionary. But the other half of this equation is the business model, which seems just as radical. Section 4. The fans' first business model.
Yeah, this is maybe even more disruptive than the rules. Their parent company is literally called Fans First Entertainment, and they seem to actually live by that name. It starts with how they handle tickets and pricing.
This is the part that blows my mind. Tickets are, what, $25, $35 now?
Yeah.
And that includes unlimited food and drinks and parking with no extra fees. How is that even possible?
It seems impossible by normal sports standards, right? But the logic is about volume, simplicity, and long-term value over short-term profit grabbing. By making it all-inclusive standard stuff like hot dogs, burgers, sodas, they streamline everything. They buy in massive bulk, have fewer transaction points, it's more efficient.
And it removes the headache for fans, especially families.
Exactly. You know your total cost up front. No nickel and diming for every drink or snack. That builds enormous goodwill and makes it a genuinely affordable night out. They bet that the loyalty and the sheer volume of ticket sales driven by this predictable value proposition outweigh the money they could make charging $8 for a hot dog.
Okay, that makes a certain kind of sense. But the really radical part is refusing sponsorships, right? Turning down potentially millions in advertising.
That's the decision that makes traditional sports executives scratch their heads. They have zero stadium advertising, no corporate logos on the outfield walls, no sponsored segments over the PA system, nothing.
Why? That's just leaving money on the table.
It is, in the short term. But their argument, Jesse Cole's argument, is that all that advertising clutter detracts from the fan experience. It feels less pure, less focused on the fun. By refusing it, they're making a powerful statement. We value your experience more than that corporate check. It builds incredible trust and makes the environment feel uniquely authentic, which in turn fuels that massive word-of-mouth marketing and ticket demand. It's an investment in brand purity.
So if they're not taking ad money and giving away food,
Yeah.
where does the reported $15–20 million annual revenue come from?
It comes down to two main things: ticket sales and merchandise. Because every single game has sold out since 2016, both at home and on tour. They have a massive guaranteed revenue stream just from people walking through the gate.
And those big stadium games must bring in huge gate receipts.
Absolutely. You mentioned earlier 30,000 to 80,000 fans at maybe $30–35 a ticket.
Yeah.
A single game could easily gross over $750,000, maybe even hit $1 million just on tickets. And that's before merchandise.
Ah, merchandise. That seems crucial. The yellow gear, the kilts, the funny slogans like Dolce and Bananas.
It's a merchandise empire. The branding is so unique and fun that people want to wear it. It's not just a souvenir. It's like joining a club, showing you're in on the joke. That high-margin apparel is likely a massive revenue driver for them.
And none of this works without talented players who buy into the whole performance aspect. How do they attract and keep them?
They treat them well. Differently than the typical minor league grind, players get full-time contracts, often paying better than comparable minor league deals. This offers stability, but it's also the unique opportunity. They get to be performers, entertainers, build their own brands online, they become mini celebrities. That attracts a certain kind of skilled athlete who wants more than just the traditional path.
And they have to keep innovating, right? The show can't get stale if people are coming back or hearing about it constantly.
Non-stop innovation is key. New skits, new dances, new on-field promotions, new themes for games. They're constantly experimenting to keep it fresh and surprising, ensuring that even if you've seen them before, you'll see something new next time.
So the core insight here, it really boils down to that quote from Jesse Cole.
I think so. We're in the entertainment business, not the baseball business. By truly prioritizing the fans' enjoyment, even making decisions that look financially crazy on the surface, they built this incredibly authentic, loyal following. And paradoxically, that intense loyalty and demand ended up making them far more profitable in the long run than if they just followed the standard sports playbook.
Which leads us right into the final section, Section 5, Digital Mastery and Cultural Impact. Because that authenticity needs a megaphone.
And they found the perfect megaphone in social media, especially short-form video. They understood early on that their kind of high-energy, visual, often funny content was perfect for platforms like TikTok.
The stats you mentioned earlier are just staggering. 6 million TikTok followers by 2023, more than any MLB team.
Yeah, more than some NFL and NBA teams, too. It's incredible reach. And it wasn't accidental. They strategize around creating viral moments. Every game is mined for potential clips. And crucially, they empower their players to be creators themselves. Guys like Dakota Alberton, the pitcher on stilts, or Jackson Olsen, an infielder who's huge online. They become brand ambassadors, generating authentic content that resonates way more than a polished corporate ad.
So you get these clips like, you mentioned grandma's doing a banana baby ritual. What is that?
I think it involves dedicating a baby banana to the team. It's one of their many quirky traditions. But clips like that, or the dances, or the wild plays, they go viral, and that creates this amazing feedback loop, doesn't it?
Totally. Viral clips drive interest, which fuels the insane ticket demand and that 3 million person wait list. The sold-out high-energy games then produce more great content, which goes viral again. And importantly, it pulls in people who maybe didn't even like traditional baseball before.
You see those comments all the time. This actually makes baseball look fun. They're expanding the audience for baseball-themed entertainment.
And this isn't just some online fringe thing. It's gotten mainstream recognition.
Huge validation. The ESPN Bananaland docuseries in 2022 really put them on the map in a serious way, telling their story as a legitimate business success, and then having games broadcast live on ESPN2 and Disney Plus Raw. That shows the quality and appeal is ready for prime time.
Now, you mentioned earlier this isn't entirely without precedent. There's a history of baseball showmanship.
Yeah, it's important context. They're tapping into a long tradition. Think of the Indianapolis Clowns from the Negro Leagues, who are famous for mixing superb baseball with comedy, or barnstorming teams like the House of David, who toured for decades playing serious ball but also featuring vaudeville acts and famously long beards.
So the Bananas are like the modern evolution of that.
Exactly. They've just perfected it for the social media age, combining the athleticism, the comedy, and the viral marketing.
And has the baseball establishment, MLB, taken notice? Are they learning anything?
Oh, they've definitely noticed. You can see the influence in some of MLB's recent rule changes aimed at speeding up the game, the pitch clock, the bigger bases. While maybe not directly copying Banana Ball, the success of the Bananas certainly added pressure and provided a proof of concept that fans respond well to a faster pace. Sources say MLB officials have actively studied what the Bananas are doing.
So what's next? How do they sustain this? They can't just be an exhibition team forever, can they?
They're building an ecosystem. First, they created their own permanent rival team, the Party Animals, who tour with them. This guarantees a competitive, high-energy opponent every night, keeping the games unscripted and exciting.
Smart. Ensures quality control.
Right. And the bigger vision is a full Banana Ball League. They're talking about launching it by 2026, potentially with multiple teams all playing under these unique rules. That would really solidify it as a sustainable alternative sports league.
And getting former MLB stars involved helps too, right? Like Johnny Damon, JPV.
Absolutely. Having guys like that, World Series champions, come and play, even for a few games, lends huge credibility. It tells people, yes, this is fun in games, but it's also high-level baseball talent.
Okay, so wrapping this all up, this whole journey, it seems like they've laid out a pretty clear blueprint. What are the key takeaways, the pillars of their success?
I think it boils down to three main things. One, they fearlessly reinvented the product itself. They weren't afraid to change the fundamental rules of baseball to maximize fun and speed.
2, they committed fully to that authentic, fans-first business model, prioritizing experience and loyalty over easy advertising money and making it radically affordable and transparent.
And 3, they achieved digital mastery. They understood their product was perfect for modern media and used viral content as their primary growth engine, building a massive community online.
So for you listening, the story of the Savannah Bananas is more than just a wacky baseball team. It's a powerful case study in how focusing on audience connection, genuine fun, and radical authenticity can disrupt even the most established industries.
Yeah, the final thought might be this. The Bananas prove that even something as traditional as baseball, America's pastime, could be totally reimagined for a new generation. They didn't try to be a slightly better version of the old thing. They did the opposite of the boring parts. And in doing so, they showed that maybe fun isn't just a feeling. Maybe it's the most powerful marketing strategy there is.
Thanks for tuning into this episode. If you enjoyed our content, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and turn on the notification bell. See you guys.